How would you like to sell more coaching services without being pushy or manipulative? In this video, I'm going to share with you some strategies and techniques that I've picked up over many years of enrolling people into my coaching programs that you can use too. As a coach, I know that you want to help people. And in order to help people as a coach, you've got to enroll people into your coaching programs. So I want to share with you some of the techniques and strategies that I've uncovered over the 13 years that I've been in business for how to sell coaching services more effectively. So the problem that I run into and that I see a lot of clients run into when they're selling coaching is that, number one, there's a lot of resistance in the market, especially because there are a lot of coaches out there that don't do really great work or who sell people products and services that they don't need, which creates mistrust. So right off the bat, when you're selling coaching services, a lot of times you're going to run into people who are like, hey, I tried this before, it didn't work for me, or I signed up with a coach once and then I never, got my results. There's a lot of negative energy there that you sometimes have to overcome. And so what I'm going to share with you are 4 strategies, 4 distinctions, 4 philosophies that I've uncovered that help you to develop more trust with people so that you can enroll them more easily in your programs. So the very first thing that happens with coaches is they get caught up in this tendency to sell packages, hours, sessions, selling their time for money. Now, the problem with doing that is that it creates distrust with clients. If clients think that it's in your best interest to sell them more hours and more time, they're going to want to minimize the time that they spend with you. On the other hand, if instead you were to price your packages and your programs and enroll people in an outcome, enroll people in a package that generates a result, that increases trust. So my first piece of advice for you when you're selling your coaching programs is stop selling your time and start selling the transformation that people are going to have. Another thing that I've noticed that's really interesting is that coaches sometimes think that the more time they spend or the longer a package is, the more valuable it seems to the clients. And actually that's not the case. What I've seen is that clients are more excited about a compressed time frame and a really juicy outcome in that time frame. Which brings me to my second point, selling breakthrough and mastery. So making sure that your programs offer 2 things. Number 1, that you have programs that offer quick breakthroughs, like a 3-day retreat to create this specific outcome. Something that has a short, compressed time frame with a very juicy outcome. A mastery offer, in contrast, is a longer term offering. So instead of a breakthrough being 3 days, it's maybe a 1-year program. And in order to sell your coaching programs effectively, I recommend that you have both. Some sort of juicy breakthrough that people can have a quick fix and a quick outcome, and a mastery program where they can have long-term support, community, and access to you. Another strategy is what I call selling the cure, not the medicine. So often in coaching, we get caught up in selling the medicine. What we're going to do together. We're going to talk every week, or we're going to have 60-minute sessions, or you're going to join a mastermind, or whatever it is that you offer. People don't actually want to take the medicine. Think about it. When you take medicine, it's not because you like medicine. Generally, most people kind of hate medicine, right? It doesn't taste good, it's gross, but you take it because you want the cure, you want the solution, you want the outcome. So thinking about your packages and programs in terms of outcomes, and even letting go to some degree of the process of how you get there with clients is very powerful. For example, you could tell a client, hey, okay, I'm going to work with you. We're going to have 6 sessions. We're going to work on your lifestyle, your eating habits. Let's pretend you're a health coach. Your food in your refrigerator. I'm going to teach you a bunch of recipes. We're going to speak every week. I'm going to check your calories. That client might at that point be like, whoa, that's so much. It's overwhelming. Or they might say, I don't want to track my calories. Or they might have all sorts of issues with how you get to the solution. But you know that you need to do those things to get to the solution. So instead of focusing on all the things you're going to do, the medicine that they're going to take, I want to focus on how would you feel if your body looked 10 years younger? How would it feel if you had energy every morning and vitality? What if in 1 month you could have a distinctive transformation and feeling more energized? Whatever those outcomes are in the amount of time that you offer them, that's the thing to focus on. And then, of course, the question is, are you committed to these outcomes? Are you willing to do whatever it takes? When people are associated to these cures, to these outcomes that they want, they're way more likely to want to do this work. But if you're selling all the work, it's like selling the workout instead of the hot body, right? You want to sell the hot body, not the workout. The last piece of this, which I kind of intimated earlier, is what I call sales as service. So much of traditional types of sales, rooted in a very aggressive, competitive, even masculine type of paradigm, is around getting people to say yes, closing people, really pushing people or even manipulating people into a sale. What I advocate instead is a more feminine, really, approach, an approach of come to me, an attraction-based approach. And that's what I call sales as service. Instead of pushing people to a decision, to a yes, sales as service is around helping people to step into their own desire, their own vision. If you're a coach, then you're helping people be a version of them that they want to be. You're helping them achieve goals that they want to achieve. You're helping them transform in some way. In the sales process, instead of, first of all, selling them all the stuff that you can give them or pushing them and making them feel bad, what I like to do, the approach that we take in my business, is sales as service, where we enroll somebody into their own vision, into their own desire, and help them identify how badly they want it, how much they want this vision. We help them see what's in the way of that right there in the sales conversation. So sales as service is about giving people value inside of the sales conversation, whether they buy or not, and really detaching from the outcome of getting the yes. Now, I know that sounds really counterintuitive and probably very different from any other sales training you've learned, but what I've found is that when we can detach and we can really let go of whether the person says yes or no, whether we enroll them or not, and instead really focus on being present with that person, listening deeply to them, helping them identify their vision and the obstacles that are in the way, and then giving them a choice. Are you ready to step into this vision? Are you ready for support to overcome these obstacles? Right? Like really focusing on helping them in that moment make an empowered decision, whether that decision is yes or no. And it might be no. And that's what I advocate in sales as service. It's not just about getting to the yes. It's not pushing people into a result that benefits you more than them. It's about finding that right fit and that right answer and that moment, especially in coaching. You don't want 9s for clients. A 9 is really a 1 in disguise. It means they're not all in. And coaching is work. It takes introspection. It takes time. It takes a lot of deep work. If somebody's not willing to put in the time and the effort, then probably they're not going to end up being a great client. So that's what I say about enrolling people into coaching programs. You want to make sure you're focused on the outcomes and that you're enrolling the right people at the right time so that you can really get a great result. If you found this interesting or valuable, then trust me, I have more where that came from. I have a whole lot of videos on a playlist all about how to build a successful coaching practice, and I invite you to check them out. And if you're interested in going deeper with me, then go to superstaractivator.com/go, which you can link to below, and learn about if and how you might be able to work with me and what our programs are and how we might be able to help you grow your coaching practice.